So once you've completed your primary and secondary research, now you know a lot about your market, a lot. But most importantly, you know a lot about your potential customers. That's what I'm hoping for here. I'm calling them targets, targets of opportunity. It's probably not the best word, but it's often used. We're not exactly snipers aiming in on a target, but there's a lot of analogies to knowing who the enemy is and their habits and behaviors to target them in military action. Well, we're going to do something similar, a lot less violent. We're going to target potential customers by knowing a lot about them. So targeting has everything to do with compiling all of the information you've gathered in your research, particularly your primary research, that tells you all about the habits and behaviors and preferences of the people that you want to eventually sell to. What we're really trying to get at is how the heck are we going to reach them? We've got to figure that out. And you're going to reach them by touching them in some personal way. So when we did the market research, we learned a lot about the demographics of these people, their age, their income levels, where they live, where they shop, what their shopping preferences are, how do they like to buy. This list goes on. I could keep going here forever. But you want to know enough about them that you're going to be able to figure out how to reach them. Fancy word for it is demographics. Sorry for that. What the demographics is going to help you to do is how to construct the way you're going to talk to them in your messaging, which we'll talk about in another video. How you construct the actual mechanism by which you reach out to these people pretty much is dictated by the demographics of how you're going to reach them. When you talk to them in your primary research in particular, you'll learn a lot about their preferences. And these, quite frankly, are personal and business. So if you're selling a product online, it's a B2C kind of business, you want to know about their purchasing preferences, which has a lot to do with what the product is all about, and how it's delivered, and what it does, and what the needs are that this product fulfills in their life. If it's a B2B kind of situation, same is true, but it's talking about the preferences of the way a business finds products and services that it needs in order to conduct its business. In your market research, again, particularly your primary research, you found out about these things. Now you're going to put them to work for actually figuring out how am I going to reach these people and through what channels. So let's talk about channels. I use this term, not many other people do, but it's the means through which you reach potential customers. So channels could be such things as Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and the list goes on. YouTube, another one, pretty prevalent. When you did your primary research, you asked them where do they go to find out information about products and services that they need. And they hopefully told you exactly where they go. On the other hand, they might have said, well, I prefer getting emails to learn about new products and services. That's much more rare, but it could be the case. There's a lot of businesses that, quite frankly, live on email. And believe it or not, telephone calls. So telemarketing is still in vogue in a lot of markets. So if you learn that in your interviews with your potential customers, you're going to put it in a telemarketing channel out to a certain segment of your market. Now, these channel preferences are not often uniform. Sometimes it comes down just to personal choices, even in B2B situations, of what internet channels they spend their time on. So you've got to know that. You may have to be in multiples of them. So you're going to have to deploy your marketing outreach over 2 or 3 or 4 different social channels, perhaps. That's pretty common, so that you reach the full breadth of your market. You may find yourself in that kind of situation. But then once you've figured out what the channels are, you've come a long ways. But you found it out from your potential customers in reaching out to them, whether it be email, social media channels, telemarketing, telephone calls, whatever it is. You also want to know how they like to respond to marketing outreach from potential service and product providers. They may prefer just taking a call to action on a website. They might want to respond to an email, or if they're interested, they request something from you. So you've got to set up the way that they're going to respond to you, but you want to learn about how they prefer to respond when you did your interviews in the first place. So what we're learning here is how to target potential customers in a very detailed way. You're now down to the nuts and bolts of actually how you're going to do it in the market that you're in for the set of customers that you're targeting, that you want to sell to, in other words, potential customers, and exactly how you're going to go do it. There's a little bit more I got to tell you, though, because you got to, in the next video, we're going to try to tell you how you're going to say all this stuff too. Let's get to that. So there's going to be content of your outreach. We're just trying to figure out, well, how we're going to send it to them. I hope that's helpful. Have a great day.